So one last question. Let's focus it on PlayStation specifically. When you think of PlayStation, PS1, what's the first game that comes to your mind on PS1?
A lot was either bowling. It's gonna sound really funny. Either bowling or like a Ford racing game.
Oh
Those were
no,
the
that sounds
Mm.
yeah.
terrible.
There was a Ford racing game, and then there was a test. It was Test Drive. I'm sorry, it was Test Drive. I
Okay,
did have a
we're
Ford.
getting back to being better. That's better, probably much better than the Ford racing one. They made a few
It
test
was
drives.
so Ford. I liked, but I just didn't like the. I guess the. I don't even know how to describe it. I just didn't like how the game, I guess, functioned and like the graphics, I guess. And it was very basic. Like it was just like roads and stuff like that. Where a Test Drive, it was like Hummers. It was a different kind of vehicles and different kinds of maps, like mountains. Like you were in like the Grand Canyon. Like you were doing a whole bunch of different maps and stuff like that. Bowling, which was on, they were both on PlayStation 1, but bowling was, that also goes back to when I was talking about my family nights and we used to have our game nights. Bowling was another one of those games. And I remember because my cousin's mother, who also used to play bowling, we all used to make fun of her because she didn't want to use the side rails, like the little cheap side rails for bowling. So she was not good at the game and she always used to get gutter balls. And I just remember it was just always something that we would always like just make fun of her about. And then like of course me being cocky, I would always put the side rails and I still do. You go in person to go play bowling. But that was between the bowling and the Test Drive. Those are the main two that I played because a lot of the songs too, like what's that one song called? It's the Small Things. That is one of the main songs in Test Drive that I actually listened to today because it's one like a really high, like it's a good gym song for me. But that was one of the
That
songs that they
Blink One
played.
Eighty Two,
Yes,
all the small
yes,
things.
yeah, it's the
Yeah,
Small Things. Yeah, that's one of the main songs that got you really motivated when you're trying to race down a mountain.
soundtracks are very important. It really made Tony Hawk. If you ever played Tony Hawk, that soundtrack was like the best soundtrack ever.
I got the game. I think I got it one year for Christmas, but I never played it. It wasn't really something I got into, and I felt bad because I think they spent a lot of money on that game back in the day.
It's really good. You should play the new ones. They remade the 1 and 2. Or no, was it 1? It was 1 and 2. Yeah, 1 and 2 got remade. They're
Mhm.
fantastic on PS4. Wes, what about you? PS1. What comes to mind?
All right, immediately the first thing that pops in my head is Siphon Filter.
All right, same.
Siphon Filter, because yeah, was it Gabe Logan? I think was his name. It was just,
Yeah, shout out to Gabe Logan.
there you go. It was just, looking back, it was real crappy looking, but at the time, it was fun. It was fun. It was like espionage action game. This was pre Splinter Cell, so but it was riding on the coattails of Metal Gear Solid. So, but Siphon Filter gave us multiple games. So yeah, that was the PS1. That's the first thing that popped into my head. If I have to pick two, then I'd go with Final Fantasy VII. But
It's a fair
right now, I'm
choice.
going with Siphon Filter.
Yeah, Siphon Filter was the reason I bought a PlayStation 1. For you guys, if you don't know me that well, I was very hardcore in N64. I like N64 is probably the console I'm most nostalgic for. I love it. So I was really pro N64. It took me forever to get a PlayStation, but I could not deny Siphon Filter. Once that came out, I was like, I need a PlayStation, and then I finally got one. But yeah, Siphon Filter, first game I played, loved it. Hearing that PS1 logo start. Oof, I love it.
Definitely, yeah.
The
And
beginning of it.
every now and then, like when you're on like Facebook or social media, it'll be like, here's a couple of pictures or like soundtracks from that are throwbacks. And one of them was the PlayStation one. I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, I felt
they're all
that.
great, man. PS2 had a great little opening thing. You know which one sucked was PS3. PS3's opening thing was just like almost like a little symphonic thing. And I was just like, you went from PS1, which was like iconic, to PS2, which was still also probably iconic, and then PS3 was just like, what is this? What is this?
I wasn't big on PlayStation 3. I have it. I actually had 2 consoles at one point because I don't even know why I had 2 consoles, but I had 2 consoles at one point. I think someone gave us one because it was broken, or mine broke, so I got a different one, and then I fixed the other one, and I had 2 PlayStation 3 consoles, and I barely played them because I don't even remember the opening.
It was not good. It's not memorable. If you heard it today,
That's
you'd just be
probably
like, eh. If you were on TikTok, you just keep flipping to the next thing. All right, guys. So Taylor, I just want to thank you for joining us. Again, if you guys want to follow her, where can people follow you? Actually, I didn't even shout that out in the beginning. So if somebody wanted to follow you on social media, where do you want them to follow you at?
They can follow me on Twitter. You can look up X Firewalks X, and I'm on Twitter. And then you can also follow me on Instagram as well. I believe if you type in X Firewalks X, I should pop up on Instagram as well.
There you go. And you're streaming on Monday nights at 8 p.m. Dead by Daylight, correct?
Yes.
There you go. Wes.
Cool.
Where can people find you if they want to?
You can find me on Instagram at Grendel5XBX. And if you are ever in the Atlantic City area, you can catch me at Level Up Entertainment. We sell comic books, retro video games, Gundam models, pinball machines to play. Good times.
Make sure you guys check him out over there. I'm Matt. You guys can follow me at from NJ2CA. The 2 is a number 2. That's over on Twitter. Make sure you guys follow the company at Nerdthusiast. Please support us on Patreon, patreon.com/Nerdthusiast. You can support us for as little as $1 a month, and we would greatly appreciate it. Until next time, you guys take care.
Have a good one, guys.
Bye.
Thank you, Taylor.
You're
welcome. Thank you, Taylor.
You're welcome.